Halloween arrived with unseasonably warm weather and orange leaves falling like rain. The dance didn't start until 7, which gave me all afternoon to spiral into anxiety. I changed my mind about going approximately 17 times, talked myself back into it, then almost chickened out again. Finally, at 5:30, my phone rang. Natasha. Hey, I answered. You're panicking, aren't you? How did you know? Because I know you. And because I'm panicking too. Natasha's voice was softer than usual. Rosa, we don't have to go. Forget what I said about not letting them win. If you're uncomfortable, if you're scared, we can stay in. Watch movies, order pizza, pretend Halloween dances don't exist. You'd really do that? After saying it was important to make a statement. I'd do anything for you. The statement doesn't matter if you're miserable. My heart squeezed. I want to go. I want to be there with you. I'm just nervous. Me too. But we'll be nervous together. And if anything happens, we leave. No heroics, no proving points. We just leave. Promise. Promise. I felt marginally better after we hung up. Mom helped me get ready, doing my makeup and helping with my hair. She'd pulled it half up, leaving waves cascading down my back, and the effect was prettier than anything I could have managed alone. You look beautiful, daughter, she said, her eyes suspiciously bright. Don't cry, Mom. You'll ruin your makeup. I'm not crying. I'm just proud. She kissed my forehead. And maybe a little sad that my baby is growing up. I'm 16, not 6. You'll always be my baby. She stepped back, taking me in. Natasha's going to die when she sees you. That's the plan. The doorbell rang at 6:30. Natasha, arriving exactly on time like she'd probably been sitting in her driveway for 10 minutes, working up courage. Mom answered the door and I heard Natasha's voice. Good evening, Miss Charles. Is Rosa ready?
She is.
Come in, let me get a picture of you too. I came downstairs to find Natasha standing in our foyer, and we both stopped dead at the sight of each other. She looked incredible. The blue shirt brought out her eyes, the black pants fit perfectly, and she'd styled her blonde black hair so it fell in soft waves. She was holding a corsage, deep red roses that matched my dress. Hi, I managed. Hi yourself. Natasha's voice was rough. Rosa, you're wow. You too. We stood there staring at each other like idiots until Mom cleared her throat, brandishing her phone. Pictures.
Now.
Before you two forget I exist. We obliged, posing for what felt like hundreds of photos. Natasha slid the corsage onto my wrist, and I noticed her hands were shaking slightly. Nervous? I whispered. Terrified. But in a good way. Finally, Mom released us with strict instructions to text her updates and call if anything went wrong. Natasha's motorcycle was parked out front, and she'd brought an extra helmet for me. Your chariot awaits, she said with a slight bow. Such a gentleman. Only for you, smart girl. The ride to school was beautiful, the sun setting in brilliant oranges and reds, the autumn air crisp against my skin. I held tight to Natasha's waist, feeling her warmth through the thin fabric of her shirt. When we arrived, the parking lot was already full. Music pulsed from inside the gym, and clusters of students in various states of costume were heading toward the entrance. Natasha killed the engine and helped me off the bike. We stood for a moment, looking at the school. Ready? She asked. As I'll ever be. She took my hand, intertwining our fingers. Remember, anything happens, we leave. No arguments. No arguments, I agreed. We walked toward the entrance together, and I was acutely aware of the stares we were attracting. Some admiring, some jealous, some outright hostile. But with Natasha's hand in mine, I felt braver than I had any right to. The gym had been transformed with orange and black streamers, fake cobwebs, jack-o'-lanterns everywhere. A DJ was set up at one end, currently playing something with a heavy bass beat. The dance floor was already crowded. There they are. Madison waved us over to where she and Becca had claimed a corner. Madison was dressed as a vampire, dramatic and gorgeous. Becca had gone with a witch costume, complete with a pointed hat. You two look amazing, Becca said, taking in our outfits. Very mature, very classy. We clean up nice, Natasha said, her arms sliding around my waist. Betty, Lily, and Carmen found us a few minutes later. They'd gone for a group costume, the Powerpuff Girls, with Betty as Buttercup, Lily as Bubbles, and Carmen as Blossom. "This is adorable," I said, gesturing to their outfits. "We know." Betty grinned. "Come on, let's dance before the night gets weird." We all headed to the dance floor, and for a while, I let myself just enjoy it. The music, the movement, Natasha's hands on my hips as we moved together. She was actually a good dancer, not showy but confident, able to find the rhythm and match it. "Having fun?" she asked, her mouth close to my ear. "Yeah, this is nice." "It is." She pulled me closer. "You're incredible, you know that? You're not so bad yourself." We danced through several songs, until Natasha pulled back slightly. "I need some air. And maybe something to drink. Come with me?" We headed toward the refreshment table, and that's when I saw them. A group of 5 girls clustered near the punch bowl, all juniors and seniors I recognized but didn't really know. They were watching us with expressions that made my stomach drop. "Natasha," I said quietly. "I see them." Her voice had gone hard. "Stay close to me." We got our drinks and tried to move away, but one of the girls, tall, blonde, with a face full of mean, stepped into our path. Well, if it isn't Riverside's power couple. Her smile was all teeth, no warmth. "Having fun?" "We were," Natasha said flatly. "Move, Victoria." Victoria, the name from Natasha's story, the senior who'd bullied her freshman year, whose nose Natasha had broken. "I don't think so. See, my friends and I have been talking. We've decided that this whole," she gestured between us, "situation has gone on long enough." "What situation?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "You, thinking you can just waltz into Riverside and snag the school's most eligible, well, I wouldn't say bachelor, but you know what I mean." Victoria's eyes were cold. "Natasha Wilson doesn't do relationships. She doesn't do soft. So either you're manipulating her, or she's playing some kind of game. Either way, it's pathetic." "Back off, Victoria," Natasha warned. "Or what? You'll hit me again? Get yourself expelled." Victoria laughed. "That's the thing, Natasha. You've gone soft. Everyone can see it. You're not scary anymore. You're just a lovesick puppy following this bookworm around." I felt Natasha tense beside me, her jaw clenching. This was exactly what we'd feared, someone pushing, trying to provoke a reaction. "We're leaving," I said firmly, grabbing Natasha's hand. "Already? But we had such a nice surprise plan for you." Victoria's smile widened. "Hey everyone, can I have your attention?" The music didn't stop, but people nearby turned to look. Victoria pulled out her phone, holding it up. "So, there's this really interesting video that's been going around. Thought everyone might want to see it." My blood ran cold. Natasha's grip on my hand tightened painfully. "Don't," Natasha said, her voice low and dangerous.
You have reached this point. Please subscribe for more. Thank you.
"Don't what?" "Share public information." Victoria tapped her phone, and suddenly her voice was echoing through speakers she must have connected to earlier. "This is footage from a security camera at Charles Liquors on Oak Street. Date stamped 3 days ago." A video began playing on someone's laptop that had been set up near the DJ booth. I couldn't see it clearly from where we stood, but I heard the murmurs rippling through the crowd. "Is that? Oh my God. That's Natasha's dad." Natasha's face had gone completely white. I didn't need to see the video to know what it showed. Her father, drunk, probably causing a scene at the liquor store. "Natasha," I started. But she was already moving, pushing through the crowd toward the laptop. I followed, my heart pounding. The video showed exactly what I'd feared. A man who looked like an older, more broken version of Natasha, stumbling around the store, knocking over displays, shouting at the clerk. The timestamp showed it was from 3 days ago, when Natasha had texted me that her dad was having a bad night. "Such a shame," Victoria's voice continued. "Natasha's been walking around here like she's better than everyone, when really she's just trash from a trash family. And Rosa, sweet, innocent Rosa, has no idea what she's gotten herself into. The crowd had gone quiet, everyone watching Natasha's reaction. This was the humiliation Victoria had planned, not attacking us directly, but exposing Natasha's most painful secret to the entire school. I saw Madison and Becca pushing through the crowd toward us. Saw Betty's expression, horrified and sympathetic. Saw Purple watching from across the room, her face unreadable. And I saw Natasha, proud, strong Natasha, starting to crumble. Enough, I said, and I was surprised by how steady my voice came out. Victoria, turn it off.
Why?
It's public information. Everyone should know. I said enough. I stepped forward, putting myself between Victoria and Natasha. Yes, Natasha's dad has a drinking problem. Yes, her home life is complicated. But you know what? That doesn't define her. It doesn't make her trash. It makes her human. Rosa, don't. Natasha started, but I kept going. You want to humiliate her? Fine. You succeeded. Everyone now knows her business. Congratulations. But here's what you don't know. Natasha is the strongest person I've ever met. She works a part-time job to help pay bills. She takes care of her father even when he doesn't deserve it. She's been carrying this weight alone for years because she was too proud to ask for help. My voice was getting louder now, carrying across the suddenly silent gym. And, yeah, she used to be a bully. She used to push people around and make them afraid. But you know why? Because people like you made her think that was the only way to survive. You created the monster, Victoria. You, and everyone else who made her freshman year hell. Victoria's expression had shifted from smug to uncertain. But here's the thing about Natasha that you missed while you were busy planning your petty revenge. She's changing. She's learning to be vulnerable, to let people in, to be more than just the scary girl everyone fears. And I'm proud to be with her. Not despite her complicated life, but because of it. Because she's real and honest and trying so damn hard to be better. I turned to face the crowd, to face all the watching eyes. So, if any of you have a problem with that, with Natasha's past, with her present, with us being together, that's your issue to deal with, not ours. We're done performing for your entertainment. We're done letting you dictate how we feel about each other. I grabbed Natasha's hand and started pulling her toward the exit. The crowd parted, no one quite sure how to react. Behind us, I heard Madison's voice. Anyone who posts that video online will have to deal with me. And trust me, you don't want that. We burst out of the gym into the cool night air. Natasha was breathing hard, her eyes suspiciously bright. We'd made it halfway across the parking lot when she finally stopped, pulling me around to face her. Rosa. Don't apologize, I said firmly. None of this is your fault. But that speech, you didn't have to defend me like that. Everyone knows now. About my dad, about how fucked up my life is.
Good.
Let them know. I'm tired of secrets, Natasha. I'm tired of you carrying everything alone. I cupped her face in my hands. You told me once that I make you want to be better. Well, you make me want to be braver. And tonight, defending you? That was the bravest I've ever been. A tear slid down Natasha's cheek, then another. She pulled me into a fierce hug, her face buried in my hair. I don't deserve you, she said, her voice breaking. Probably not. But you're stuck with me anyway. She laughed wetly, pulling back to look at me. I love you. I know it's too soon. I know we've only been together a few weeks. But Rosa, I love you. So much it terrifies me. My heart felt like it might explode. I love you too. I have for a while now, actually. I was just waiting for the right moment to say it. This is the right moment. Every moment with you is the right moment. Natasha kissed me then, deep and desperate and full of all the things we'd been too afraid to say. When we finally broke apart, both of us were crying and laughing at the same time. Let's get out of here, she said. Forget the dance. Let's just go. Where? Anywhere. Everywhere. I don't care, as long as I'm with you. We climbed onto her motorcycle, and Natasha kicked it into life. As we rode away from Riverside, from Victoria's cruelty and everyone's judgment, I felt something like freedom settling over me. This wasn't the end of our problems. Victoria and her friends would still talk. The video might still make its way online. Natasha's home life was still complicated. There were still people at school who disapproved of us, who wanted to see us fail. But we had each other. And somehow, that felt like enough. We ended up at the Overlook, a spot on the edge of town where you could see the whole city spread out below, lights twinkling like earthbound stars. Natasha killed the engine, and we sat on the bike, my arms wrapped around her waist, her hands covering mine. "Thank you," she said quietly, "for what you said back there. For defending me. Always. That's what girlfriends do." "Is it? I wouldn't know. You're my first." "Well, I'm honored to set the standard." I kissed her shoulder. "What happens now?"
Now.
Natasha was quiet for a moment. Now I stopped being ashamed. Of my dad, of my past, of needing help. Now I let you actually be there for me, instead of pushing you away whenever things get hard. I'd like that. And now. She turned to face me, her expression vulnerable but determined. Now I tell you all of it. Everything I've been holding back. The really ugly stuff. Natasha, you don't have to. I do. Because you were right, I'm tired of secrets too. She took a deep breath. My dad, the drinking started after my mom died. At first it was just occasional, then it got worse. By sophomore year, he'd lost his job. We almost lost the house. I started working, started taking on more, and more just to keep us afloat. "That's a lot to carry," I said softly. "It is. And I was angry about it. So angry. At him for falling apart, at my mom for dying, at the universe for being unfair. I took that anger, and I weaponized it. Became the person everyone feared because it was easier than being the person everyone pitied. And now I'm tired of being angry. Now, I want to actually deal with things instead of just surviving them." She met my eyes. I think my dad needs help. Real help. Rehab, therapy, something. And I can't force him, but I can at least try to get him to see that. That's really mature of you. It's necessary. Because I can't keep living like this, Rosa. I can't keep pretending everything's fine while my life falls apart behind closed doors. And if I want to actually be with you, really be with you, build something real, I need to handle my shit. "We'll handle it together," I corrected. "You're not alone anymore, remember?" Natasha smiled, and even in the dim light, I could see the relief in her expression. Together. I like the sound of that. We sat there for a long time, talking about everything and nothing. Natasha told me more about her mom, about the kind of person she'd been, the lessons she'd taught, the hole her death had left. I told her about my dad leaving, about feeling abandoned, about how mom had basically become both parents. "We're both kind of broken," Natasha said eventually, echoing my words from weeks ago. "Works in progress," I reminded her. "Not broken. Just works in progress. I like your version better." It was nearly midnight when we finally headed back. Natasha dropped me off at home, and we sat on her bike in my driveway for another 15 minutes, unable to quite say goodbye. "I should go check on my dad," Natasha finally said reluctantly. "Text me when you get home?" "Always." She kissed me one more time. "I love you, smart girl. I love you too. Even when you're stubborn and overprotective and make terrible decisions." "Hey, my decisions aren't that terrible. You broke someone's nose freshman year. Okay, that one was pretty terrible. But in my defense, she had it coming." I laughed, climbing off the bike. "Go home, Natasha. Check on your dad. We'll figure out next steps tomorrow." "Tomorrow," she agreed. And every day after that. I watched her ride away, her taillights disappearing into the night. Inside, Mom was still awake, sitting in the living room with a book and a cup of tea. "How was the dance?" she asked, setting the book aside. I sat down next to her, and the whole story spilled out. Victoria's ambush, the video, my speech, Natasha's confession of love. Mom listened without interrupting, her expression shifting from concern to pride to something like understanding. "You really love her, don't you?" she said when I finished.
"Yeah, Mom."
"I really do." "Then we'll figure out how to help." Both of you. She pulled me into a hug. I'm proud of you, daughter. What you did tonight, standing up for her, defending her, that took real courage. I was terrified. Courage isn't not being afraid. It's being afraid and doing it anyway. She kissed my forehead. Now go to bed. It's late, and tomorrow you'll need to start figuring out how to actually handle all of this. She was right. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, dealing with the fallout at school, helping Natasha figure out how to get her dad help, navigating whatever Victoria had planned next. But as I lay in bed that night, Natasha's jacket pulled over my pajamas, I felt something like hope blooming in my chest. We'd survive tonight. We'd face the worst-case scenario and come out stronger for it. Whatever came next, we'd face it together. And somehow, that made even the scariest possibilities seem manageable.